BioWare, the gift that keeps on giving. It keeps on giving. Like every day is Christmas with the when you have BioWare. So BioWare shuts down support for Dragon Age: The Veilguard after EA revealed the game missed sales expectations by 50%. I think it was a little bit more than 15%. So the game cost about 350 $400 million to make, plus marketing about 700 million, and they only made a grand total of 105 million. So I'd say it was a bit more than 50%. But hey, with 50, it's not that bad. It's still bad. Even if you want to say 50%, that's still bad. That's still bad. In the latest patch notes for Dragon Age: The Veilguard, BioWare revealed that it would not be providing any more minor bug fixes. Oh boy. Or quality of life improvements, and would only monitor the game for game-breaking bugs. This announcement comes amid BioWare's parent company, EA, revealing the game missed sale expectations by 50%. In the patch 5 release notes, BioWare informed players, "Thank you all for playing Dragon Age: The Veilguard. We were so happy with the game's stability at launch, and hope you have enjoyed our quality of life patches since then. With the game being in a stable place, we are moving the monitor for any game-breaking bugs, should those occur." Dareth Shiral, or translated, "Go fuck yourselves." This announcement came shortly after EA announced in a press release that Dragon Age: The Veilguard engaged approximately what? Approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter, down nearly 50% from the company's expectations. Yeah. And again, because people just don't take my word for it, which is whatever. Okay, so 1.5 million people, assuming 1.5 million. I always do that. 5 million. So 1.5 million players, assuming that those are all individual copies bought. So times 70 for base game. We're not going to factor in, deluxe or whatever they were selling. So base game was $69.99. So $70. $105 million. Again, the game took at least 350, 400 million to make, and then another 200 or so for marketing, giving you about 700. They said they needed to sell at least 10 million units for them to basically break even. So 10 million times 70. So that's just to break even. They would have to sell more than 10 million units in order to make a profit. But again, go ahead. I say this all the time, waiting for the people to say, "Oh, John, it was a great game. I don't know what you're talking about." Well, apparently it wasn't a great game. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm truly, truly glad you enjoyed it. That doesn't make it a good game. It's different strokes for different folks. Most people don't like having, dog shit flung at their face. Well, guess what? There are some people who do. Doesn't make flinging dog shit at people's faces popular. Doesn't mean it's successful. No, but there are people who like it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Numbers don't lie. And I always have to say this. This is worldwide. Around the world. How many billions of people are there in the world? And only this many really played it, despite the fact that there were apparently 1.5 million players. The peak was only that. Like within the first day or two, there was 30,000 refunds. So I'm truly glad you enjoyed it. I'm truly glad you did. But don't sit here looking at the numbers and say that the game was a success, because it wasn't. You cannot sit here and say the game was a success when this was its budget with the game and the marketing, and it only make a total of 105 million. Just don't. Just stop doing the mental gymnastics. Stop trying to bend backwards for these companies and just admit the game was a failure. Even if you enjoyed it, financially, it was a failure. Because if you admit that, congratulations. You're on your first step to acknowledging that these companies are just producing crap products now. And then maybe the products in the future will come out and they'll be better, because maybe the people like you who are finally going to acknowledge it will start calling these companies out as well and say, hey, we're spending our hard-earned money on your product. Can you give us a better written a story with better characters? And instead of ham-fisting diversity, why not have diversity that feels natural? Instead of having a romance that feels like it was written by a fucking 5-year-old, why not actually give us a romantic situation that feels natural? Instead of, quick, think about us having sex. Who speaks like that? These people who wrote the game, wrote the script, and wrote the story, they went online, onto Tumblr, saw a fanfic, and wrote a fanfic of a fanfic, and just slapped the Dragon Age title all over it. So, furthermore, Dragon Age The Veilguard's executive producer Mark Dara has also indicated that EA was relocating BioWare staff to other studios aside from the upcoming Mass Effect game. Dara shared in a recent upload to YouTube, Mass Effect isn't ready to suddenly have a team of 250 to 300 people working on it. In the past, when BioWare was toying with being just one project, like on Anthem, like on the Veilguard, that project was up and running in full speed, so it was able to suck in every available resource. Now it just sucks. It sucks and doesn't give anything in return. I could probably add something more to that, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Everything. So that's not exactly what's happening. You see this when you go on to people's social media sites, people who work for Dragon Age The Veilguard. Some of them are moving over to Mass Effect, but some of them are moving into other parts of EA organizations, the EA organization, because Mass Effect isn't ready for them. And I don't think we're ready for Mass Effect. People are scared to death of what the game's going to be like. If Dragon Age is any indicator of what what direction EA BioWare wants to go, people are terrified of what the next Mass Effect game is going to be like. And rightly so. Rightly so. It was reported back in November that Dragon Age The Veilguard would not receive any DLC or expansions, and the company had already shifted focus to Mass Effect. Oh, it's a rainy day. You know how rainy days are. George Yang at Rolling Stone reported on Halloween, with Dragon Age The Veilguard now complete, BioWare confirms that there are currently no plans for downloadable expansions. He added, the developers' full attention has now shifted entirely to the next Mass Effect as their current project. So, yeah, so you're not getting DLC, you're not getting an expansion, you're not getting any more quality of life or bug fixes unless they're game breaking. But yeah, the game was a success, right? I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So glad, like I said, Different strokes for different folks. Some people like to have people smear shit all over their face or like to be pissed on or whatever. Some people, most people don't. And just because you like it, that's not a general consensus of everyone else. Just because you like it doesn't mean everybody else does. You know? Some people like to have their pooper played with during sex. Some people don't. Some people like, I don't know, ketchup on their eggs in the morning. Some people don't. Just because you might like ketchup on your eggs in the morning doesn't mean everybody else does. So, yeah, great. You enjoy ketchup on your eggs. But you can't say that overall that's the popular, the majority of people do. And you can't say, oh, yeah, it's a success or popular or whatever just because you like it. So, I'm not surprised. And as long as BioWare, EA, Activism rather than Activision, Ubisoft, you name it, as long as these companies continue, because I just did about Ubisoft having to lay off another 185 people, closing down another studio, all 50 people at that studio losing their job. As long as game companies keep producing crap, this is what's going to happen. This is modern gaming, where, you know, left and right companies are being shut down, studios are going out of business, games. Well, we got the game out. Have fun. Glad you guys wasted your $70, $80 on this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You're not getting any DLC or expansion. No, we're not even going to fix the bugs unless they break the game. So, modern gaming. No one cares. It's like the whole 30 minutes or less for pizza. Remember back in the day when they had Pride, when they said 30 minutes or less or it's on us? Nowadays, it's like, oh, you'll get it when you get it. It's the same thing with these companies. Back then, they had more pride in what they did. They wanted to create a quality product that gamers could enjoy. Now it's, oh, well, just be happy you're getting something. Okay, well, if that's how you feel, then we'll just vote with our wallets. We'll just show you we don't have to spend $70, $80 on the product. So you guys can spend your hundreds of millions of dollars to create the game. We're not the ones at risk here. If we don't buy the game, we're not the ones at risk. You are. But sure, keep pushing out a crap product. I'm sure it'll do you well in the future. So when you're closing your doors and laying off your last employee, you'll sit there wondering, oh, gee, what went wrong? We've been telling you this whole time what's been going on and what's been going wrong. You just refuse to listen to us. Instead, we get labeled as phobes, isms, far-right extremists, whatever. Whatever. Modern gaming. I hope the modern audience is truly enjoying these games. But judging by the state of Dragon Age the Veilguard, I say not even the modern audience was enjoying the game. But hey, what do I know? We're just a bunch of phobes, isms, and haters, and grifters, and this and that, and incel chuds, and blah, blah, blah. And all these other names these fucking morons want to say because they're not intelligent enough to think of anything else. So, but anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.